Hey, are you planning to purchase a house as a primary residence or maybe as an investment property, but you are not sure about what conditions do you need in order to get successfully pre-qualified? I'm here to tell you 5 conditions that you need in order to get successfully pre-qualified in a residential loan. Condition number 1, money. You must have money in your bank account in order to show that you have enough money to cover all the costs of the transaction.
What do you mean money? Is not that the reason that I'm asking for a loan to the bank? Because I don't have money, so I want the bank to pay for my house?
Yes, you're right. The bank is gonna give you the money in order to complete the transaction. But remember, this is a bank service. And have you ever seen the bank doing things for free? I have never seen such a thing, and honestly, this is not gonna be the exception. You have to take care of certain costs during the whole transaction. First of all, the closing cost. The closing cost is the fee of the bank that he is charging you for the whole transaction. Since the moment you are applying for the mortgage until they give you the money and you can purchase your house. Second one is the underwriter fee and the processing fee. What this is about? This is when the bank is charging you for recollecting, reviewing, and analysis all the documents that you give it to him in order to know how much money they are willing to give you to purchase the house. Third one are the cost of the transaction in general. We are talking about to purchase a house, and this purchase has so many costs in it where the only person who is in charge of it is the borrower. The cost of this transaction basically are: 1, the appraisal. The appraisal is an inspection that must be done in the property to know what is the real value of the property in the market. So let's see, it's just to confirm if the seller is putting the right price on the property, right? The second one is the title. The title should be changed because actually the house that you want have a current owner, right? And we need to change the name of this person to you because you're gonna be the new owner of this house. This change have a fee also, so that's the title. Third, insurance. We must pay insurance in everything that we purchase, we already know, and also don't forget about the taxes. So just as a recap, all these costs are the costs that we must take care of, and the summatory of this amount should be the money that we must to show in our bank account to be able to get pre-approved for a loan. Condition number 2, have been working consistently for the last 2 years. Put yourself in the position where you are lending money to somebody else. What is the only thing that you really care about of? Is that you have to be 100% sure the person that you're giving the money to is gonna give you the money back, right? That's the same thing with the bank. And proving that we have enough income actually is gonna help to let the bank know that we're gonna pay our debt in the future. So how we're going to show to the bank and let the bank know that we are consistently working and we have some income coming in order to pay our new debt? All right, so we're going to divide this in 2 because it's people who is employed and people who is self-employed. For the people who is employed and work for somebody else, can show the W2 of the last 2 years, showing the income of these last 2 years, and also the pay stubs. The pay stubs, they're showing how much is making this person for the last 30 days. So you can get paid maybe monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. Doesn't matter. You need to show the last 30 days of these pay stubs. Now, what about if you are self-employed or if you have a business, right? So if you pay yourself, you must show the 1099 that looks like this. But if you don't, a P&L is required, right? The P&L is the profit and loss of the company that is showing how much money the company is making. Here is very crucial that your company shows that is making more money than the money that is losing, right? Because right here, the bank is not willing to give the money to somebody that is showing only losses. Well, we arrive to the condition number 3. And the condition number 3 are taxes. Taxes are the only legal document where the bank can see how much money we have been earning during the years. And it's pretty important. If you don't have a social security number, you can have your tax ID, and also you can fill your taxes with your tax ID.
Whoa, taxes. Honestly, I don't report everything that I'm making because I know the IRS is going to come after me, and I rather to receive money from the IRS to pay them. Like, come on.
I completely get it. That was the first thing that I heard as soon as I got to this country, and I'm not gonna lie, I was doing the same thing for a while until I went to purchase my house. And when I was in that process, I figured out that if I don't feel the taxes, I'm not going to get it. What I did was I went with somebody else to tell me the exact amount of how much I have to pay to the IRS, and I compare. And nowadays I'm so glad that I did that, because if I have this number and I compare with all the benefits and advantages that being owner of my own house is giving me, even more than that, the rental income that I'm receiving monthly basis is just doesn't have any comparison. And actually, I think that's another story that I'm gonna tell you later on. But the point here is, think about it. Who gave you this kind of information? This person was a lawyer. This person was working for a bank, was an accountant, was somebody who was the owner of their house, or maybe not, and just happened like me, that the person who told me this was somebody who was living in this country like longer than me at that time, and that just for that fact, I believe it. So I just wanna tell you that I know how that feels, because I have been there, and I know this is scary. I know that is really scary, but you know what? I know also that we are afraid only of the things that we don't know, only to the unknown. So you can go ahead and reach out for somebody who is professional and get the actual number that you have to pay to the IRS, and compare if this number is higher as being paying rent for your whole life, or if this number is worth it enough to just forget about your dream and be owner of your house, or even though if this number is as important and have the best investment that you can have, not only for you but also for your future generations. Condition number 4, debt control. What we can do to have a debt control? The first thing is manage our credit cards the best way as possible. How we can do that? Just spending the 35% of the limit of our credit card. Let's see an example. If we have a credit card with a limit of $7,000, right, and we're spending just 35% of it, our maximum balance monthly should be $2,450 per credit card, right? And it's not only credit cards. We must to keep in mind that we shouldn't let the debt go higher as our income or earnings. Our income always have to be higher than our debt. And the last but not least, have the best credit score as possible. A good credit score to get qualified for a mortgage is 680 and up. But what happens if I have 680 above? Easy. The bank is gonna see you as a risk. Risk means that if I give you the money, you probably are not gonna give you the money back. So they're gonna protect themselves. And one way to do that is charge an insurance. So if you don't pay me, the insurance will do, right? So that's one cost extra in your loan, and it's making your loan expensive than the rest. And not only that, you're not gonna have the opportunity to reach out to the best rates in the market. Why? Because people who have the best credit score is doing so. So If 680 is not the best credit score that I can have, which one it is? 720 up is the best credit score that you can have, not only to get pre-qualified and qualified for the mortgage, also to get the best and cheap conditions on it. Condition number 5. That's the last condition. You just need at this point to get all your documentation ready to get pre-approved for your mortgage. So here I'm gonna put the list of the documents that you need. First of all, an ID. The ID can be your driver license, depends on the state that you're living in. But if you don't have a driver license or you're not a citizen, you also can prove your identification with your tax ID number. Is a complete lie when people say that because you are a citizen, you're not willing to get a mortgage in this country. So a tax ID number is also valid. And even though if you have any of the visas, P, L, E, G, O, you also can qualify for a mortgage. So that's regarding the ID. And second are the bank statements. The bank statement should be provided for the last 2 months previous to the month you're applying for the application. If you're applying as an individual, personal bank statements. If you're applying as a business, business bank statements, or both, depends on the case. And number 3, taxes. We saw the taxes are really important during this process. So personal tax returns and business tax returns, if you're a business owner, are required for the last 2 years. Remember, it's the 2 years previous to the year you are applying for the mortgages. Now that we have taxes, bank statements, and ID, we need to prove that we are making money, right? So how we can prove? The income depends. If we are self-employed, so a P&L is required with a positive balance, and the P&L must be year to date, so the year you are applying for the application, right? Applying for the application, applying for the loan, and the previous year until December. And not only that, the P&L must be certified and signed by a CPA. So that works. And if you don't have any of those, you can also show the 1099 of the last 2 years. This is for self-employed. And for people who is employed, we need also W-2 for the 2 years previous at the year of the qualification, and also a pay stubs for the last 30 days of the qualification, right? That means the previous month. And that's pretty much, that's everything that you need to get pre-qualified successfully for your mortgage. Yes, that was all for today. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns about what I was saying in this video, please feel free and contact me. Here's my contact information, or you can write a comment on the box below that I will be more than happy to answer. And if any of the information that I said was useful for you or for the process that you want to get into, please click here, like, and subscribe to get more content with this kind of information. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.